Back in May of 2021, there was much hype around a top cow comic series, Hardcore, that was created by Robert Kirkman and Mark Silvestri. According to Deadline, Adam Wilgard was attached to direct this title for Universal Studios. Meanwhile, popular 90s X-Men villain Onslaught was set to make a dramatic return. And Superman's 10 Cents Adventure was asking for more than just pennies. This trending list was filled with heavy hitters, image darlings, and big screen dreams that never quite made it true. Back then, Hardcore was on the top, Onslaught was making a comeback, and speculators were all in on Ironheart, Kang, and even an 80s cult movie, Beat Street's homage. But fast forward to 2025, and reality has hit the back issue bins hard. Which books are a bust? Which ones still have the potential? And is there anything here that's quite worth scooping up now before it heats up again? Hey everyone, I'm Izzy from Comics with IzzyVerseNYC, and this is your weekly Covrprice Top 10 Comics Rewind. We are looking back to 4 years ago at May 2021. This list highlights the power of comic book speculation, where movie buzz, first appearances, and key storylines pushed books into the spotlight. From rumor casting to variant covers to long-awaited adaptation, each pick has its moment in the sun, whether it's tied to the MCU, DCU, or indie projects. These books showed how fast the market can shift when fans get excited. Remember to like this video and subscribe to Covrprice's channel. Also, turn on your notifications to stay updated on the latest comic book news. It's time to start this list. Number 10, X-Men 53, Marvel Comics, 1996. The 2021 reappearance of the 90s X-Men villain Onslaught in X-Men's Way of X #2 ignited collector enthusiasm. Near-mint copies fetched $40, with CGC 9.8s commanding $265. However, 4 years later, the fever for this first appearance has waned. Current prices have declined to $8 for near-mint raw copies, and a CGC 9.8 just recently sold for $83. This significant price drop over 4 years marks this once promising book a bust. I remember in the 90s the ever popular Traitor story arc that was planted in the X-Men line. Many clues pointed to Gambit, but that was a red herring. The true traitor was Professor Charles Xavier, who wasn't quite himself. During the battle between the X-Men and Magneto's acolytes, Magneto used his powers to remove adamantium from Wolverine's skeleton. Xavier used his telepathic abilities to shut down Magneto's mind and render him catatonic. Magneto's anger, grief, and lust for vengeance entered Xavier's consciousness, mingling with every long-suppressed negative yearning Xavier had during the last 30 years. This resulted in the creation we know as Onslaught. For those who saw the ending of X-Men 97, we may get Onslaught in Season 2. Therefore, this may be the best time to pick up this book. Keep your eyes open. Number 9, Marvel Comics presents 117, Marvel Comics 1992. The first encounter between Wolverine and Venom was highlighted on a comic book YouTube channel 4 years prior, sparked significant collector interest. Near-mint raw copies surged to $35, and a CGC 9.8 reached $140. However, by 2025, prices for both raw, now $13, and graded, recently $82, copies have declined. Consequently, this sought-after issue is currently considered a bust. Nevertheless, with the upcoming release of Secret Wars, the book retains potential for future appreciation and might be a worthwhile long-term investment. The first meeting of two icons is always fun to have in a book. This book popped up because of a discussion on a YouTube channel, like this one. It really has no merit, and it has cooled down after the topic was out of the minds of speculators. Wolverine and Venom are not mortal enemies, and this confrontation is not a must-have in my opinion. Number 8, Hardcore number 1, the second printing, Image Comics, 2012. 4 years ago, Deadline reported Adam Wingard will be directing the film Hardcore from Robert Kirkman and Mark Silvestri. This announcement sent prices soaring for this once dollar bin book. This second print was selling for $58 for raw copies, and there was a graded CGC 9.8 that sold for $104. 4 years removed, and there has been little news to come of this adaptation. The lack of news led to a drop in prices as raw copies are down to $8, and there hasn't even been a sale of a graded copy in years. When compared to 2021 prices, this book is definitely a bust 4 years later, but more news could possibly lead to an increase in prices again. When word that Hardcore will be a major motion picture by the guy who did Godzilla and Kong, I could understand the excitement and the push. Most comics don't get past the option status, and this one had director Adam Wingard attached to it. However, no news since then, and it's in developmental hell with no signs of leaving anytime soon. Wingard may come back to make this project, or maybe he won't. Only time will tell. Number 7, Infamous Iron Man number 1, Marvel Comics, 2016. Speculation around the Ironheart project 4 years ago drove prices for this first appearance of AI Tony Stark, with raw near mint copies hitting $25 and CGC 9.8 reaching $250 due to the possibility of RDJ's involvement. Despite the imminent Ironheart show, AI Tony Stark isn't expected in the MCU. While graded prices initially surged again due to RDJ's Doom casting, they remain below 2021 levels. Raw prices, however, have surpassed the 2021 from $25 to $31, making this book a push now. Its unique circumstances suggest potential future price increases. This is one book I will keep my eyes on. Now that Avengers Doomsday is currently shooting and is now scheduled to be released in December of 2026, this book will climb the charts, and I'm sure it will be on the top 10 again. This could be the best time to grab it on the wild. By the looks of it, the graded copy is a better pick than the raw copy. Number 6, Captain America 16, Marvel Comics, 2006. Fueled by Captain America 4 rumors 4 years ago, the introduction of Red Skull's daughter, Sin, caused prices for this comic to surge. Speculation also suggested she be the movie's main antagonist. Raw copies traded around $40, with CGC 9.8 fetching $600. However, with the release of Brave New World showing no signs of Sin in the MCU, 2025 prices have plummeted from their 2021 highs. Today's raw copies sell for about $8, and the CGC 9.8 recently sold for $83. This dramatic price drop makes this book a clear bust 4 years later. As of today, the Red Skull's daughter, Sin, has not made her presence felt anywhere. But that doesn't mean anything. This is a character that has potential, and I could see a future where she can turn up in an MCU project someday. Maybe as a villain to the Young Avengers or something like that. What I don't see is this comic book being the next big book. So for the price it's currently going for today, it may be the price it should be moving forward. Number 5, Bitterroot number 13, the Sanford Green Beat Street variant homage. Image Comics, 2021. The comic book Bitterroot enjoys paying tribute to iconic films with numerous variant covers. This Beat Street cover homage gained a significant popularity 4 years ago, with Raw climbing up to $50 and CGC 9.8 graded copies reaching $130. However, prices have since drastically declined. Today, Raw copies can be acquired for just over $5 cover price, and graded sales have been non-existent. This substantial decrease in interest and value categorizes this book as a bust 4 years later. On a positive note, collectors who appreciate this exceptional cover can now purchase it at a very affordable price. Who doesn't love a good homage cover? We see homages every day in today's market, and this is no different. Bitterroot is a bit of a cult hit, and so is Beat Street, the movie that this cover is paying tribute to. I grew up in the Bronx, where this movie was made, and I remember these times and the hip-hop breakdance culture from my childhood. It was a fun time. This comic is just that and nothing more. Number 4, Seasons Beating. Number 1, the Marko the Djurdovic variant. Marvel Comics, 2018. In 2021, this rare Kang variant surged in the aftermarket, with Raw copies hitting $45 and 9.8 grades reaching $100. Following Kang's MCU debut, Marvel shifted to other villains, causing this previously hot book to decline. Today, this variant sells for as low as $2 Raw, with no recent graded sales, making it an affordable option for its cover despite the lack of current hype. But it also makes it a bust today. The Kang dynasty is over, and everything to do with it too. Unless it's an important first appearance of Kang or one of his alter egos, it doesn't really matter anymore. So mostly every book associated with Kang is on the decline. But it's a really nice cover. Number 3, Wytches number 1, Image Comics, 2014. Wytches comic popularities have varied over time. In 2021, Scott Snyder mentioned that the adaptation was in progress, and that was enough for Raw prices to climb back up to around $20. And there was a graded CGC 9.8 copy that sold for $250. Today, we are back down as prices for both Raw and graded copies have dipped. Currently, Raw copies are priced at $3, and graded 9.8 copies is selling for approximately $60. Despite current low prices deeming this book a bust 4 years later, future news or casting announcements could cause price surges, potentially making this a good time to buy. Wytches was announced to be getting the animated treatment by Amazon back in February 2023. Both Snyder and Jock served as executive producers on this project. Last we heard from Snyder is that the first season of Wytches is being eyed for a 2025 premiere. We are 6 months into the year and we still haven't seen anything yet. I think that's going to change very, very soon. So be prepared, for the Wytches are coming. Number 2, Superman, the 10 Cents Adventure, number 1, DC Comics, 2003. The first appearance of Supergirl Sur-El in this issue saw price spikes due to her Flashpoint Supergirl role in the Ezra Miller Flash movie, with Raw copies reaching $25 and graded 9.8 copies selling for $110. However, following the film's lackluster performance and Warner Bros. DC Universe revamp, prices have significantly decreased to $10 for Raw copies and $90 for CGC 9.8s, making this book a bust. Despite this, James Gunn's plans for Elseworlds movies offer a small possibility of Sasha Calle's Sur-El reappearance. Wow, a 10 cents comic book is now $10. Supergirl, however, was the best part of the Flash movie, and I'm not sure if we ever get to see her again. But James Gunn has fooled us before, and this could be the case with this version of Supergirl. With the upcoming Supergirl movie scheduled for a summer of 2026 release, I think Sorrell's Supergirl will be sitting out for a while. So you don't need to rush out to get a 10 cents comic book for over $10. Number 1, hardcore number 1, Image Comics, 2010. The Top Cow pilot season book featuring the first appearance of Hardcore, whose Universal film adaptation is stuck in development, has seen a price decline. Raw copies once fetched for around $75 and a CGC 9.8 sold for $200. However, the Stall film project has caused prices to plummet. Today, near mint raw copies are at cover price for just $3, and the last CGC 9.8 sale happened in 2021 for $39. This book is definitely a bust. However, any news regarding the Hardcore film could potentially revive interest and increase the book's value. The number 1 book in May of 2021 is a comic book that has been sitting out in developmental hell. I don't know much about Hardcore, but I know the possibilities are still present. We could hear something any day or in the far future. That's the thing with development hell. It could be a thing or never was. This week's review yielded only 1 book that was not labeled a bust. While this is not great when compared to 2021 prices, this could possibly be a good time for some collectors to purchase some of these books for a bargain price. There are some of the books on this list that could experience aftermarket growth in the future if characters in questions are featured again, either in a story or in a film TV adaptation. It is always difficult to predict which book will have longevity, as typically only tried and true classic books hold value over time, and those are not released on a weekly basis. May 2021 was packed with hype, promise, and plenty of price tags that didn't age too well. Out of all the 10 books, most have dropped significantly in value. We've had 7 total busts, 2 maybe pushes, and 2 books that are still carrying a glimmer of future potential. Mainly infamous Iron Man number 1 and possibly Wytches number 1. The biggest lesson here, movie news can spike a comic price, but without real follow-through, either on screen or in the story, most of those game fades fast. But keep your eyes open. A few of these might still have their moment again, because in this game, all it takes is one big announcement to turn a $5 book into gold. Hope you enjoyed looking back at the top 10 of May 2021. If you haven't yet, please take a moment and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Take a moment and visit the Covrprice YouTube channel for more weekly content, including the top 10 comics, Shaker Report, and comics covered with co-founders Matt and John. And make sure you check out covrprice.com to see what's on their current top 10 and the various trending movers and shakers. For more comic talk from a collector, reader, and artist, check out my channel, Comics with IzzyVerseNYC, where I cover the latest trends, common culture, and convention experiences, all from a fan's point of view. Follow me on social media by searching IzzyVerseNYC, and make sure you say hi to me if you see me at a convention. I enjoyed discussing comic books with you. Until next time, Excelsior.
Thank you.